Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a pickups video because I kind of went game hunting. So if you haven't noticed, I've been absent from YouTube for a couple weeks, and that's because I've been tied up with, well, life. But I'm back again here with the pickups video, and let's get started. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. Well, since the Nintendo Switch is all the rave right now, let's start there. Picked up two new games. That is, well, it's not very new, but I picked up Dead or Alive Extreme 3, and this is Scarlet. It's a pretty decent game. I've been wanting to play these games for a while, but most of the ones around here are obviously in Japanese, but this one's actually in English, and you basically go to an island, and you you pick a girl, and you have her go around and play volleyball matches, and these weird, awkward, like, pool butt battles, whatever. But yeah, and you buy them like little Valentine's candies, and you give gifts to other girls. It's like a vacation resort island thing, and you're trying to test it out for its owner, something crazy like that. But you can play poker, blackjack, stuff like that in here, which is kind of fun. And you save up points, and then with those points you can buy the girls new outfits and stuff like that. So you can also take like photos of the girls and stuff. So if you're into that kind of thing, then this game is for you. But yeah. The next Nintendo Switch game is actually the Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII double pack here, or twin pack as they call it. It's essentially the games remastered and ported over to the Nintendo Switch. This was at the time, or it probably still is right now, only available at Play Asia, and that's who I ordered from. I pre-ordered it as soon as they announced it because I'm a big fan of physical copies, obviously, and I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy, so I just had to grab this. Next up, we'll go with this. I have a record here that says Star Wars Galactic Funk. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, what in the heck is that? I have a record player, and I'm always looking at the record section every now and then for something good, something decent. And yeah, I consider this a pretty good find. Now, I popped it in, and it's exactly how the title says it. It's Star Wars Funk. It's pretty crazy. I wish I could play a sound clip for you, but yeah, I mean, the cantina in like a funky groove, yeah, it's kind of strange, but it's funny. I love the front cover, the artwork, and everything. I thought it was a good find, so I picked it up for like, I think like $1 or so, so pretty neat. Alright, so you've noticed I've got two PC Engine units here. This one, I think one of them comes with a CD-ROM unit inside and the other one doesn't. Let me see, hold on here. Let me open this bad boy up. I found these in the junk section, and okay, so this one comes with the unit inside, and I picked these up for pennies basically. So here's the CD attachment. You just need to put the PC Engine into here, and it acts as like a central hub for everything to work together, kind of like the Sega CD that I have over here. Put this bad boy back on. Let's check the other one. Don't fall off the table. Ooh, this one's kind of sticky. Okay, so this one does not come with the CD attachment right here. So I would have to buy another CD attachment, which these are pretty These are pretty prone to being broken because they're so fragile, I guess. So I'll get another unit there, and hopefully this thing works. I might have to clean the connectors or whatnot to get it to work all right, but pretty neat. Like I said, I wouldn't have picked these up if they were anything over like, I don't know, 10 bucks, but that's probably what I about paid for them. It was about 1,000 yen a piece, which is a good deal, but yeah, I'll have to hook those up and test those out and let you know how they go. Next up, let's go with more PC Engine stuff. So I found a boxed PC Engine. I'm sorry, it's not a controller. This is the adapter, which I have one loose over here somewhere as well. The multi-tap. So these are also pretty prone to being broke because, I don't know, for some reason NEC made things pretty prone to breaking, unfortunately. But the PC Engine is an awesome console, so if you get a chance, you don't have one, try one out, go pick one up. It's a pretty awesome system, some awesome games. But I never seen one of these boxed before, so I picked it up for 10 bucks, which isn't too bad, I guess. This one actually costed 700 yen, so around $7, I would say. Another multi-tap that I got. So the multi-taps are pretty good for things like Bomberman, racing games, stuff like that, because my PC Engine Duo, she only comes with one port. So if you want to play 2 players, you're going to need one of these. And this one's actually kind of strange because it's like rounded. I thought it was pretty neat the way it looked. So I picked it up because it looked cool. And you can never have enough multi-taps, right? Especially if they're prone to breaking. So next up, we have Jurassic Park, the interactive game for the Panasonic 3DO. I have a Panasonic 3DO. I'm always on the lookout for games. This is obviously a Japanese 3DO, a Japanese game. But looking on the back, it looks like it does have English in it. A lot of games that are like, you know, a major IPs like Jurassic Park and stuff like that. Most of the games that came out here in Japan, of those are mainly all English anyway, surprisingly. It's pretty nice for me because I can't read the Japanese, but I imagine the Japanese, you know, kids, when they bought these games, Jurassic Park, you know, there was no translation for them on some of these games, and I kind of feel bad for that, but yeah, I picked that up simply because it was $3. I don't have many 3DO games, so what the heck. I love soundtracks for video games because video game music brings back a lot of nostalgia and memories. So this is the Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack, the original soundtrack, and composed and arranged and produced by Nobuo Uematsu. Final Fantasy VIII for me was the very first Final Fantasy I ever played. And as I said before, I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, and this really got me into turn-based games. When I was younger, I was that kid that was like, I don't like turn-based battle games. That looks, you know, boring. I like action-packed hack and slash games. So when I played the demo of Final Fantasy VIII, way back when I was younger, it really blew me away when the summon, the Leviathan, came out, and I was like, wow, this looks really cool, and this thing is doing all this kind of damage and stuff for the summons. So anyways, this brings back a lot of memories to that moment when I first heard the music, late nights staying up after school and just playing this game. And yeah, the music is awesome. Every now and then when I'm cleaning and organizing the game room, I'll throw in a music CD, whether it's Final Fantasy or something else, to kind of like, you know, have something to listen to while I'm cleaning up around here. Next up, another soundtrack, and this is Castlevania Symphony. I can't talk today. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. A lot of you guys are probably big fans of this, and here's the music to bring back those memories of this game. A very in-depth game for back in the day. But I have that there. I also put that on every now and then. Actually, I had that in there last week while I was cleaning up around here and organizing this stuff. Going through my closets and whatnot. Let's see. Aha. We have a Super Mario Kart case. This is for your Super Famicom games. So it just opens up like that. Kind of like those old school, you know, tape player cases. Just slide your game in there. Boom. And it's protected. I wish I had one right here available to me so I could slide it in there real quick, but I don't have any in arm's reach, so just take my word for it. Pretty neat. Well, next up we have a Famicom game, Bucky O'Hare for the Famicom. I picked this up for about 4,000 yen, 40 bucks, so it's one of the more expensive Famicom games, but I didn't have it. I enjoyed the game. It's pretty rough, so I decided to splurge a little bit and pick it up. Next up we have these. I was kind of surprised to see these out because it's not something I see too often. It's the Xbox 360 faceplates for the actual console itself. So we have Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. These are all, what, $3 a piece, but they're pretty cool. They really make your console stand out. We have Gears of War. This is the Emergency Day Limited Edition 2006 faceplate. Pretty cool. And we have, this is a Square Annex for Infinite Undiscovery. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't see those out a whole lot too often. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I could put it on my 360 and spoof it up a little bit every now and then. Next up, ooh, if I can reach these guys. You know what? Let's just go what's closest to us. So this right here is the Victor Saturn, and it is pretty much in pristine shape. And I saw this, I think I paid, it's a little over $100, probably 130. I think it was. I can't quite remember. I've had this stashed away for a little while for this pickups video. It's pretty sweet. Everything looks really, really nice and brand new. I had another can't talk. I had another Sega Saturn over here sitting with my consoles that I actually used to play, but when I saw this guy, I was like, oh man, I really got this. It's boxed, and it comes with some really cool accessories, and I just had to have it. It was a really good deal. And so now, the other week, I sold my Sega Saturn that I used over there to play my games with, and I'm like, yeah, I've got another Sega Saturn. There's no need in having two. I'll sell the more generic Sega Saturn, and I'll hook up the V Saturn and utilize this bad boy. So I'm really excited to hook this guy up right after this video and start playing some Parodius. All right, next up, let me reach all these without knocking my mic off. Here we go. Alright, so you see a lot of controllers in front of me. And a console. Let's go over it. So, I've got this cool Emerald GameCube. I was out game hunting with a friend, and I pointed this out. This looks pretty neat. And supposedly, it's one of the rare colored GameCube games out here in Japan. So, I snagged it up for a couple bucks. That was pretty neat. I always need more GameCube controllers because the main thing I play on GameCube when friends come over is Mario Party, and you always need a good controller. Actually, funny story, the other couple of weeks ago, we were playing Mario Party on the GameCube, and I ran out of GameCube controllers. I needed one more, and I had all these generic GameCube controllers out here, you know, like the silver one, maybe an orange one or whatever. And I was like, man, I need another controller. Where do I have another GameCube controller? I can't believe I only have 3 controllers, and we need 4. And so I was like, oh yeah, I remember where I have another one. It's on the shelf in the game room, and it's the Panasonic Q controller. Yeah, the one that cost like $100. So I had to bring this bad boy out and gave it to my buddy. I'm like, I got another controller to play Mario Party with, but be careful with it. This is one of the more rare console accessories, so we ended up playing Mario Party with the Panasonic Q and a bunch of generic controllers. But now I don't have to use that one anymore, unless I really, really want to, but I'll just use the Emerald Green now. So, pretty cool. Other controllers we got here. So I said I picked up the Victor yeah, I said that right. Victor Saturn. So I saw another Victor Sega Saturn controller in the store for a couple bucks, and this one is actually another version of the Victor Saturn, but still nonetheless it says Victor on it. So I was like, oh cool, I got the new Victor console at the house, so here's another controller that can kind of go along with it, play with my Sega Saturn. So pretty convenient find there. Next up, we'll go over 2 more PC Engine items, and they're controllers. These controllers are pretty cool. This one has a bunch of turbo buttons on it. I don't know what half those buttons do. This one also has a bunch of turbo buttons. I've used this one before. I think I have one just like it, and they're really convenient when you're doing shoot 'em ups and stuff like that. Kind of just hold down the button. Some of the games already come with that, where you just hold down the button and you shoot, but there are a few select shoot 'em ups out there where you gotta actually, and it just wears out your thumb. So if you feel like being a little bit of a cheater, you can just hold down the buttons, flip one of these switches, and just go at it. Or have like auto run and stuff like that. It's pretty convenient. If you think that's cheating, too bad for you. But I mean, I had these kind of controllers when I was a kid too. So I mean, it really didn't help me out that much, but it makes the game, I think, more fun. And lastly, we have the Pikachu N64. Now, I've been after a Pikachu N64 for a while, but they're usually a little bit too expensive, or sometimes they just completely vanish from the stores. Like I think our last year when we went game hunting over in Tokyo, like you used to see them all the time, right? But the Pikachu consoles have disappeared, vanished from the stores like crazy over the past, what, 3 years. And when I saw this out in the open, when I went recently game hunting, I was like, wow, they actually have one out, and it was for a really decent price. I don't remember how much it was for, but I have a couple of the Pikachu N64 controllers. I have the orange version as well, but I don't have the console, and this was the very first console I picked up. So I picked it up, I plugged it in, it didn't power on right away and work, so I was like, huh, well, you know, I barely paid anything for it, but I'm going to take it apart and clean it up, see what I can do. So I took it all apart, cleaned up the connectors, put it back together, and bam, it works perfectly fine. The only other thing I think I might want to do with this is probably clean up the case a little bit more, and I don't know, I was thinking about modding it to be a bit region free, which is obviously just the plastic tray inside, but we'll see in time. Alright guys, so that was my recent pickups video for this week. I will be coming out with another recent pickups video because, believe it or not, I have some more pickups other than this to show you guys. And yeah, they're sitting behind the camera right now, and I'll probably get started on that video next week and get that out. And also stay tuned for a video about this new gaming table I have set up. It's pretty cool, made it for board games, but it can also be used for a ton of other things and convert to an actual, you know, realistic table. I mean, look how I'm using it right now, right? Works perfectly. But I'll show you a video on that, a couple other projects that I'm working on as well. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, found it in any way, shape, or form entertaining, please hit the like button, subscribe if you hadn't already, comment down below on what your favorite pickup is that I got this week, and I'll catch you next time.